the victims of the explosives. And so this is a clue. The leg and other body parts were actually buried in a grave close to the state capitol building in Oklahoma City. But Dr. Jordan testified that he could not identify this individual, whoever the owner of the leg was, through DNA.
Stay there. Got a break. 1 minute. 1 minute. Final 5 minutes from death row straight ahead. We have liberty and freedom because our ancestors would stand up against corruption. That's why we have private property, Second Amendment. If we don't have courage and stand up against evil men and murderous, dangerous groups, then the sky's the limit. We cannot capitulate. And it's dangerous for me to be talking about this. It's dangerous for everybody involved. It's just horrible. Bob Chapman's coming up on the economy. We have no future unless we just stand up and tell the truth. And that's why I feel good about what I've done and everything that David Paul Hammer on death row with McVeigh for many, many years. On record, he was with him, did talk to him. That's, even in the LA Times, other publications. And everything he said about the case is on record from other people. In the last 4 minutes we've got left, sir, you've got the floor. Final comments, because you haven't been live on the media in 11 years. They're planning to execute you very soon, and they told you they wouldn't execute you if you wouldn't write the book. So in the last 4 minutes, closing comments for the audience.
Well, I would ask your audience, not to discredit what I'm saying just because of where I am and my situation. This is far more important. This is not about me. It's not even about Timothy McVeigh anymore. It's about the government, and it's about those who are still out there, terrorists, who helped plan and carry out the Oklahoma City bombing. They have not been brought to justice. They're there, and not only have they not been brought to justice for the Oklahoma City bombing, but they haven't been brought to justice for killing Kenneth Trinidad, mistakenly thinking that he was part of the bombing plot. The government, lawyers have oftentimes claimed when they're presenting an inmate witness or an informant or someone to the jury in their cases, we don't pick our jury, we don't pick our witnesses. Well, this just happened. I'm on death row. I'm speaking. I'm saying what McVeigh told me. I want to make something perfectly clear. I'm not vouching for the veracity of what McVeigh told me. What I am vouching for is the veracity of what we've been able to substantiate through thousands of pages of documents. I want to bring up a couple other quick points. Jesse Trinidad has filed numerous freedom of information suits, and recently two things has really kind of stricken me, and that's the fact that the government doesn't want to turn over video that's taken outside the Merrill building on April 19th, and they don't want to turn over an unredacted copy of the Charlie Hanger video taken from the dashboard of his cruiser. And in response to the request for records from the CIA, their response was and is that it would be a danger to national security to turn over these documents. How in the world could it be a danger to national security unless some other country or someone from some other country, i.e. Andreas Strassmeyer, was involved in the Oklahoma City bombing? So these are questions that I hope your audience will think about, and not only think about, but be moved to some type of action, whether it's to write your elected official, whether it's to protest, whether it's to be on the Internet, whether it's to talk on the Alex Jones show. People need to mobilize and find out what happened in Oklahoma City on April 19th, 1995. The victims and the victims' families deserve that.
Paul, Paul, we've only got 1 minute left. If you don't win these appeals or they don't reverse it, when are you going to be executed?
I'm still a long way from being executed because it's up to Eric Holder right now to make a decision of whether they're going to re-sentence me to death.
All right.
Or at least attempt to re-sentence me to death. And he has, as of now, he's under a court order to make that decision by April 30th. Right. So it would be sometime after that. David
Paul Hammer on death row at Terre Haute, Indiana. We're out of time. I appreciate you contacting us and coming on the show. We confirmed through other individuals this is Mr. Hammer on with us. And in the last 10 seconds, I believe your story because it fits with everything else we have. I believe you, and I have a good discernment, excellent discernment. Give us your website one more time for folks that want to learn more.
www.deadly-secrets.com, and the book is available at authorhouse.com.
God bless you. Telling the awful truth, no matter what the consequences, risking our lives, ladies and gentlemen. I need your prayers. And I was about to let David Paul Hammer go, who is in Terre Haute, Indiana, on death row. He was at the other Supermax before they even built it with McVeigh. He's been interviewed by the L.A. Times and others. It's a fact that he knew McVeigh. And Terry Nichols separately has filed affidavits saying the same thing, declarations, with Jesse Trinidad, the lawyer whose brother was tortured to death and killed in the cover-up. They thought he was one of their operatives. It's been confirmed he wasn't. This is just so horrible. But you were saying something. I said, well, I'll try to get back in touch with you in the next few weeks. And you said, well, if I'm not dead, again, specifically, you're not planning to commit suicide. Restate what you said, sir.
No, Alex, I'm not planning to commit suicide. And if anything happens to me, what I told you was, yeah, I'd like to talk to you again in a few weeks, assuming that they don't kill me. I won't say that I'm paranoid about what they might do, but I am somewhat fearful. I know that it's the government, and they can pretty much do anything. So I know what they did with Kenneth Trinidad, and I've seen what they have done to other inmates. So there's a certain bit of fear about talking out, but I believe it's worth it. And if something was to happen to me, then I will have given my life for a good cause, the truth. I think there's no better cause than the truth. And the truth about Oklahoma City just hasn't come out yet, at least not officially.
All right. Again, on death row for, you said you were arguing and fighting with your cellmate and strangled him. All I know is your case fits with everything else we've seen and all the documentation and what others said they were with McVeigh, and just a bombshell interview, and we're going to pray for you so this information gets out. David Paul Hammer, one more time, your website.
It's www.deadly-secrets.com. And, Alex, I thank you, and I thank your listeners for tuning in and hearing what I have to say.
Well, if we don't stand together, we're going to hang separate, and it's just amazing. And I wish it wasn't true. I wish there wasn't all these government documents that have come out thanks to Trinidad's lawsuits. And I mean, it came out that the FBI terrorism head was there and lied about it. It turned out it was just all an operation. It's scary to have to get on air and confront these people, but they're going to keep doing it if we don't expose them. What about our children? What about our future? What about our society if we just capitulate to this Nazi, style garbage?
Well, Alex, we don't want, as a people, we don't want to believe that our government could do something like this. But time and time again, history has shown that our government has done things that are very disgraceful to us. So, I mean, I don't think it's such a stretch to believe that the government had some hand in Oklahoma City. To what extent, I'm not certain.
Well, a great article on this subject is The Trinidad Case, a cover-up that won't stay covered, by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, if people want to learn more about this case becoming a window into everything that's happened. David Paul Hammer, anything else?
No, I just want to say thank you again, and people do something. Let your voice be heard on Oklahoma City.
Well, it's been used to demonize the Patriot movement. They've ordered the Hatari militia released, but the feds have filed to keep them in prison. Turns out that's a complete setup. And it's just amazing. All right, well, hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you again. His first interview in 11 years. No law, no nothing, no gag order. They just, prison just won't let him talk to anybody, and now they're cracking down, and now they want to be able to arrest any citizen secretly, hand them over to the Pentagon, and you disappear into a black hole. That's the news headline, strip terrorist suspects of U.S. citizenship. This is for all of us. None of us are safe. David Paul Hammer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Alex.
All right, go with God. Oh, man. When we got contacted and confirmed through the sources and through the legal people, that this is, when I see this stuff, I don't even want to cover it because it's so sick, it's so painful, it's so bad. And I know why we're a nation in denial, because people just don't want to believe this. But it's millions of times worse than even Oklahoma City. I mean, it's a Pulitzer Prize-winning book by one of the chief lawyers in Nuremberg on IG Farben and the U.S. government and how they took the Nazi plans to put fluoride in the water to partially sterilize us, reduce fertility, and brain damage us. I mean, what is that, IG Farben, Crime and Punishment? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. It's just, why? I mean, these black op operators that bombed the building, your kids are drinking fluoride water? Why?